Headline news most affecting Chilliwack this week. Could we see events like the car show come back to the Chilliwack downtown core this summer? The free ride with free parking is now over at Chilliwack General Hospital. A rookie Mountie will never forget this delivery, and Chilliwack Minor Lacrosse introducing a try before you buy registration. Our special guests this week include Trevor McDonald with the Chilliwack Business Improvement Association and another edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City, and the Mayor Ken Popove. All right, Chilliwack, let's get started. Our top story, with the constant barrage of cancellations due to COVID, some good news on the horizon. Trevor McDonald of the Chilliwack BIA confirming a social media posting from Fortin's Village Classic Car Show. They're hoping to have a downtown show in 2022. In the past 2 years were called off because of COVID. Talks are about to get underway on what the show might or may not look like, and that brings hope that there might also be a party in the park this summer as well. You recall that the Chilliwack Pride Festival was held last August with no major issues. Now, meanwhile, the Chilliwack Heritage Festival, that has been postponed until 2023. chillTV spoke with Trevor about what the summer may or may not have downtown. That interview is coming up later in the show. Still with COVID-related issues, and as of March the 4th, free parking at Chilliwack General Hospital and other hospitals is now over. You're paying for your spot again. One of the big problems was that when parking was free, healthcare workers literally had no place to park, and others were abusing the privilege. Many people were actually using and abusing hospital parking as a quasi-park-and-ride facility. Both the Coquihalla and Highway 1 through the canyon have reopened, but the BC Transportation Minister Rob Fleming stressing this is not the Coquihalla or the Trans-Canada that you're used to. Single-lane temporary bridges are up, and those bridges were washed out in the November atmospheric river damage. So expect major delays for construction. Now the concern is that drivers are stopping along the restricted roadways to take pictures. So they're slowing down traffic and they're actually putting themselves in danger. Still with the Coquihalla, there was a high-level Zoom call between Chilliwack Hope MP Mark Strahl, Hope Mayor Peter Robb, Tourism Hope's Mark McKinney, Fraser Nicola MLA Jackie Teggart, and Global Television weather guru Mark Madriga. Now the discussion centered around those November flooding issues, the flood cleanup, and the future of the Coquihalla Canyon Provincial Park. There is a very real possibility that park will not open this year. It won't be open until 2023. The province has extended the disposal period for flood material to 90 days from the last date of flooding. That includes tipping at the Bailey landfill. An application process by the province has been set up for Chilliwack residents to receive disposal of flood-damaged materials that go to the Bailey landfill, and go to the City of Chilliwack website for more details on that. To honor the survivors of residential schools and the discoveries of various mass graves in Kamloops and across the country, and recognizing the impact of the residential school system on Indigenous communities and individuals, there was an inspirational story from the inmates of Pacific Institution. The Spirit Bear Indigenous Inmate Wellness Committee at Pacific Institution held an art competition for the entire inmate population, this to promote truth and reconciliation. So this produced a shirt design, a t-shirt design, that Correctional Services Canada took notice of. Now, the project hits close to home for some of the inmates. This from Peter Lang, the Pacific Institution Assistant Warden. He's also volunteer president of Métis Chilliwack. Now, all the proceeds from these t-shirts will go to the School Survivors Society. The irony is this announcement came just days before the discovery of yet another mass burial site. This time, it was one that was up in Williams Lake. What started off as just another night shift for RCMP Officer Constable Cizé Oda, a 6-month rookie with Chilliwack Mounties, would be far from ordinary. So during patrol, she and her partner discovered a woman in labor in a parking lot and arrived just in time to assist the grandma in helping to make a very special delivery. Now, 5 pounds, 6 ounces, mom and baby are doing fine, and it's a call that rookie Mountie will never, ever, ever forget. It is the end of the month and another edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City, and Chilliwack City Mayor Ken Popove. Chill TV's News of the Week, and it is the end of the month, so it's another edition of Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City, with the Mayor and Ken Popove. We've got a couple of things to touch base on, and let's, before the rumor mill starts, you have a cold, and that's it. We'll just leave it at that, because you know social media will blow up. The intersection closure, Promontory, Thornton, and Ekstrom, which is going to, the work has to be done, but this is going to take a while, will it not?
Hopefully not as long as they're predicting, but yeah, it's through the November storms. That section of road took a real beating. So I know they had it open temporarily, but to fix it, this is the best way of doing it. It's going to be a bit of an inconvenience for the folks up that way, but it's not the only way up there. So yeah, it's going to take some time.
Family Literacy Day, and that is on Friday. Thursday, Friday. Correct me on that
27th,
one. 27th. It is something very, very cool. And in this day of this, we forget to read what a book is. So what's the city involved? Are you involved? Are you going to be reading to the students, or what are you going to be doing?
No, I have done that in the past, but no, through COVID days here, of course, that's not going to happen. But it's really is to raise awareness about the importance of reading, and I'm probably at fault as well. I know my wife loves to read, but I'm not a huge reader. I do when I go on holidays, but it is something that is important, especially for our youngsters. There's good information, there's good education in reading. You learn words, you learn how to use words, and all that sort of stuff. So if you want to participate, check out the great resources at the library, online, obviously, and yeah, read a book.
The extension for application for free disposal of flood damaged materials. Now, is Bailey Landfill receiving anything from Abbotsford, or is this strictly from the Chilliwack area right now, or are we going to see a shift in this?
Well, it's a bit of a combination of both, Don. They've extended, they being EMBC, have extended the when they first started with the cleanup process, a 30-day, which I said that's not going to be enough, and which is quite obvious. But now that's stretched into 90 days now. So we are accepting some of that flood damaged material. There is a website, chilliwack.com/flood resources, for the application and for more information. Now, I remembered at the start of this when the Cache Creek landfill site there was no access to, but I believe that's all been rectified. So this is probably going to be a little coming here and more going up that way there. But work is underway in the Sumas Flats to get these folks back into the houses and back to some form of normality. But this is a good thing.
Yeah, and you were mentioning Bailey Landfill. You can follow that on the city's website. There's a lot of city services there too, for everything from viewing utility bills and bus passes and, dare we say it, property taxes.
Well, that the most fun thing to talk about now. You can report a pothole, and yeah, we have potholes here too. It's been an exceptionally bad year. We do have two crews out, trying to get at them. But if you do have one that's of great size, I suppose, like a pothole's a pothole. But just get a hold of operations, and they will put it on their list, on their to-do list, if you will, and they'll get them cleaned up. It's challenging. This year here has been probably the worst year in a while, with all the moisture and what's got into the asphalt, and of course with the snow. So just be careful when you drive, guys.
And I'm sure you've heard enough about Yale and Hodgins. Now that, as I understand it, is going to be properly paved. They had to do it just a patch just to get traffic going. Am I correct on this?
Yeah, exactly. That project was supposed to be completed approximately to the 19th of November. But with that 2 feet of rain that we got on the 14th and 15th, well, that pushed that project way, way behind. It's a sanitation line, so it's a lot deeper than a water line. So it required a lot of dewatering. And by the time they got the work completed, The asphalt plants had been shut down, so yes, it's very temporary. Yeah, it's a crappy chunk of road. It's not the fault of the contractor. They did the best they could with what they had in that time frame. But come spring, when the asphalt plants are back open, there's going to be a top lift put on that.
And street sweeping. I know that there's been a lot of debris left on the ground and sidewalks in behind the Chilliwack Business Center downtown, just a block over from District 1881. Is that just going to stay down just in case we have one more, dare I say it, dump of snow or a little bit of snow, or are we now in the process of sweeping the streets?
Yeah, we are cleaning it up, Don. Yeah, no, we've got our sweepers out there. I know I've had some complaints about the bike lanes, like on Broadway.
Yeah.
Those have to be done by hand, unfortunately. So crews will get at them at some point. But no, we are cleaning up the town. I went for a walk a couple of days ago, and the dust from the gravel is pretty nasty out there. So I know there's going to be some rain in the forecast here, which will clean things up. But no, crews are definitely out there sweeping the streets, and it is wintertime. We're probably destined to get some more snow, and then we'll just lay it out again and clean it up again. That's what the guys do.
Mayor Ken Popove on Councillor's Corner, Chilliwack City. Again, as always, a big thanks for joining us.
I appreciate the time with you guys, and we'll talk soon.
You got it. And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week. chillTV Sports COVID-related schedule changes are hitting all sports. The UFE Cascades have had to play with their schedule for basketball and volleyball teams. U Sports wants all of their university teams to get a full season in. So UFV has been playing home games without fans in the stands. The BC Hockey League extending their regular season for a week, this to accommodate teams to get rescheduled games in. That includes 3 games for the Chilliwack Chiefs between March the 4th and March 26th. The Chilliwack Mustangs minor lacrosse team is having a try before you buy training session. So they're offering 2 no-charge training sessions for kids between the ages of 5 and 16 who would like to try lacrosse for the very first time. Now, players do require a helmet with a face cage, hockey gloves, and a lacrosse stick, and of course, some running shoes. The Mustangs have a limited number of helmets and gloves for loan. It's first come, first serve. So the tryouts are this weekend, the 29th and the 30th. Next up, my interview with Trevor McDonald of the DowntownBIA. chillTV's News of the Week in conversation with the Executive Director of the Chilliwack Downtown Business Improvement Association, Trevor McDonald. Trev, I was going to say, Fortins. I almost said Fortis. The Fortins people released something on social media which caught our attention, and that is there is a hope, and we're crossing our fingers, of a car show this June. Anything etched in stone, or are we still trying to work out the bugs and hopefully we can get something going for the summer? Where are we standing with that?
Well, hello, Don, and hello, chillTV. Thanks for all you do, and thank you for asking. That was actually me who put the post up. We're optimistic. We're actually optimistic that we can try and get something together. We're basically going to get the dream team together from the last 10 years of Village Classics and see if we can't just get a framework, get some rebar on the ground for the chance that we can move forward with it. It's looking good, I think, honestly. But who can predict the future? I just want to make sure that if we are full go ahead, that we've got the rebar on the ground and we got the right people ready to go.
Do we have other sponsors that have been, pardon the pun, kicking the tires and looking around?
Well, obviously Fortins is our loyal tie-in, and Jeff and the crew there are amazing. So they were actually my first phone call. So we'll stick with Fortins as our title sponsor. And then, of course, we have lots of sponsor opportunities for various parts of the show. If you remember, I used to do my radio show live from there as well. We probably won't do that so much, but I'll be there as kind of an MC figurehead now, especially with my role with the BIA. So I'm looking forward to it and to some variations on some themes for events this year. Just stay tuned. We've got some we're that Christmas Village was so fun that we got to pull off with our friends from Fantasy Farms, and we saw 8,000 people come through the downtown to participate in the Ferris wheel in the Christmas Village. And even through the weather and through the terrible stuff that Chilliwack had to go through, I think we provided a really great bright spot in the community for people to come and assemble and have a little bit of fun.
With the potential of the car show, and then last August with the Pride ceremonies and parade, or no, the Pride event, because it went so well. Gotta ask the $64,000 question: are we looking maybe at a party in the park?
I think that's the question for poor Harold. That's what he gets asked every day as he's
and he asks me.
Yeah. Do you know what I'll tell you is that there's going to be, again, a variation on the theme, probably not to the, it was time to kind of break the mold on that anyway. It had a pretty good shelf life. I think we're going to focus more on an artistic concert series. And of course, our downtown flag waver extraordinaire is Amber Price, and looking at a Mural Fest event possibly as well that is hopefully going to tie into the Pride event. And we're just, like I said, all my fingers are crossed. If I could cross all my fingers, that we can just move forward into an event filled spring and summer here in downtown Chilliwack. I'm going to push for it.
It is looking promising. Are there any other things that you can hint at, or are there plans, but right now, mum is the word?
I'm going to tell you that just because of the regulations in place, that right now we are working. We're certainly not shelving events. We're going to work in the background. I just don't want to tax volunteer time on an event that might not happen. So we're putting our sponsors into play. We're putting like I said, we're getting the rebar in the ground so that when it is go time, everybody knows their job. And luckily, Don, that the templates for the most part are already set for these events. We're just going to tweak them a little bit to make them a little easier to put up and take down, but still provide a draw for the downtown.
Trevor McDonald with the BIA, crossing our fingers all as a go with everything else. Big thank you for joining us here.
Thank you guys so much.
And you're watching chillTV's News of the Week. chillTV weather wrapping up January is with a lot of rain, but the highs are mild around 6th. Now, the long-range forecast for the possibility of more snow, that's been dropped. We might see some flurries. If you'd like to participate in reporting news in Chilliwack and you have a story you think we should know about, you can always send us a note to news@chilltv.ca. We'd love to hear from you. And for those that are celebrating, Gung Hoi Fat Choi. That's the news this week. I'm Don Lehn.